Shut the fuck up, because it's goddamn time to be back on YouTube. I'm already cussing within 1 second of beginning the chat, and I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit or a fuck. I don't give a fucking shit. How the fuck are you guys doing? It's been a while.
You right?
Many of you people out there don't know this entire time we have been doing chats on Rumble. I don't know why people don't know that. It's been on the Discord. We've been on Matt's chat talking about how we're doing Rumble chats every week and stuff like that. And yet people still didn't know, but whatever. It's fine. You know, it's cool. We've been doing it the whole time, and we're still doing it. We're still doing it right here on YouTube, just for you guys. But it's been a while. It's been too goddamn long. I hope you guys are doing well out there. I don't know. What's been going on in the world? I have actually taken a little bit of time away, just a little bit, out of this to get a little bit of mental stability back in my life. I don't know if I was missing it necessarily, but take some time, spend it with the kids, go on vacation, you know, get away from Twitter, that kind of stuff. Who's Hannah? Never heard of her. Oh, and by the way, I do like how you guys are already taking bets on how many chats I'm going to make it until I get another YouTube strike. Which honestly, that's pretty funny. But yeah, man, we're back. We're back on YouTube. Daniel's dropping in $2. Congrats on the bonus hole install surgery, man. Can't forget about that bonus hole. Well, we got Duke in the background, but his devices are not connected. I think he fucked up and then walked away from his computer. But we got Ohio Patriot and the Sleepy Ginger. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. Tired.
Yeah, I've been better. A little bit too hot here right now, unfortunately. But that's summertime for you.
Dude, at my work, it's hot in there. I've explained this before. I've explained it many times before. Oh, I shaved, by the way.
Babyface Honda.
Yeah, but at my work, it's fucking goddamn hot because the goddamn air conditioners don't work. And I have complained as much as I can complain. I've said everything that I can say to everybody who will listen to me, and it has resulted in literally nothing happening. Like, literally nothing happening at all. And it was explained to me by a manager, a specific manager, that, well, you know, the reason that they're not fixing it is because the air conditioner is there to keep the customers comfortable, not you. It's there for the customers, not you. Okay. Oh, and furthermore, I've got, you know, $1 million in sales a week or whatever it is that says that, you know, the customers are happy with the air conditioning in here. Like, okay, fine. Not 5 minutes later, I had someone sit down at my table. I get their drinks. I come back. They're like, actually, we're going to leave because it's too hot in here. Can we leave you a tip still? And I'm like, hold on. Just hold on like, your tip could be talking to my manager. Hold on. And I went and grabbed my manager and, like, told them, like, yo, this table wants to talk to you. Yeah, she was so pissed, she told me to quit. She's like, if you don't like it, you could just quit. Blah, blah, blah. And then immediately felt bad about, like, taking it way too fucking far. Because all I did was, you know, take a drink order and then, like, I did not encourage this from the table at all. I did not encourage this from the people at, like, it just so happened that it was, like, 5 minutes later that this shit happened. And, yeah. Why are you not on Rumble tonight? It automatically backs up to Rumble from YouTube. So when I stream to YouTube, I just stream to YouTube and then it'll back up to Rumble. Versus if I'm streaming to, it's just a pain in the ass to set up the Rumble chats, dude. Honestly, like, it's an extra couple of steps to do, and I mean, honestly, it's not that much. It's me being lazy, I guess, or whatever. But it is very nice to not have to set up a Rumble chat when you're setting up everything else that you have to do to set up a chat. You know, you gotta, like,
Right.
I'm not gonna explain it all, but there's multiple things you have to do, and to have, like, 3 less things is nice. Daniel dropped a 5 and said, Dylan got away with showing his nips on YouTube, so you should be good to show your bonus hole. Stunning and brave. Hashtag stunning and brave. Dylan? Are you talking
Yeah.
Dylan Mulvaney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Showed his nipples on. Wait a minute. That's totally fine, right? A dude showing his nipples. You can show your nipples as a dude. That's always been the thing. Or does he have implants?
I don't think he has implants, but there is a video. I saw someone that posted something about it in one of the discords where this guy was nearing his asshole and showed it on camera and uploaded it to YouTube.
There was I think it was either YouTube or Twitch. I guess I'm not sure which. Where it's like this gay dude who talks about gay stuff all the time, and they were having gay sex on camera, but just not like showing any. Like they were just like their faces were there, and he was like, you could see like things are going on, but you can't see anything, so it didn't technically break any rules. It's just like Jesus Christ, dude. Is this what the internet has come to? I mean, I know like it's always been like the Wild West, and really it should be. That's the way it should be, I guess. When I think about it, is there should be no rules. There should be like no holds barred kind of thing going on with the internet. But yeah, dude, people like to push things a little too far sometimes, I guess.
Yep, and it ruins it for everybody else.
Well, and then like you do stuff like that, and then people are like, you know what? Maybe there should be some rules. And then the next thing you know, like you're getting strikes on YouTube for showing a video about military equipment that's coming out of some country and coming back to us, and you were mistaken about where it was going, and so they give you a strike. Like that's where we're at now, dude. Like to the point where I don't even think I'm going to be like sharing any videos anymore on YouTube. Like the normal thing that we do where we like watch videos and oh dude, you see that guy get bread knifed and all that stuff? Like every time I get a strike it's because of a video. I think one strike I've ever gotten was because of things that we said, So, whatever. So you're watching gay sex now? Yeah, that's apparently what I've been doing on my time off. No, that was the thing. I mean, if you guys don't know about it, it's fine. Get OSHA involved. Well, the thing is that I've done everything that I can do. I've complained to management. I've complained to upper management. I guess I could get OSHA would be the only other thing, right? But like OSHA standards say like, oh, well, if it's too hot in your work area, then they should relax dress standards. So like if there's like a uniform or whatever, and it's too hot to wear the uniform, OSHA standards says that the boss should let you not have to wear the uniform because it's too fucking hot. So I've just been doing that shit. I've just been wearing like a black t-shirt instead of what I've been supposed to wear, and like buy like one of these like super thin t-shirts that has like no material in it basically at all. It just fucking breathes. But yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know what else to do. Call a lawyer.
Well, aren't they actually by law supposed to have regulations to ensure the safety of the employees? Because if it's hot in there, you could run the risk of having a heat stroke or heat exhaustion. So I would call OSHA.
Well, until someone actually has that happen,
Well, yeah, true. But I mean, it still wouldn't hurt to try to call them and find out what steps you could take, what you could do.
And the other thing, it's OSHA is like a government organization, right? Like they're like government fucking bureaucrats. How long does it take to get them there? Like if you're like, hey OSHA, there's OSHA problems going on. Get your OSHA asses in here.
Usually it doesn't take long. From my experience, because I used to have to deal with OSHA all the time. I was OSHA certified in several different things when I worked in the oil field. And if you ran into any kind of issue or health concern or anything like that, you got a hold of OSHA. They typically took that shit serious and was there pretty quickly. course, I was in a different field where, you know, there's more hazard and deadly shit that can occur versus where you work. But still, I mean, in your case, it's not only the employees that can run the risk, it's your customers if it's too hot in there, you know, and they fucking have a heat stroke or heat exhaustion. That's leaving the company liable for a lawsuit.
I'm here from the government and I'm here to help. Yep, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You show up within a week. All right. Anyone else hiring in my area? There's always people hiring, but it's like, am I going to make the amount of money in the amount of time that I make it? Probably not. Google it. OSHA don't regulate workplace temperature, says Daniel. So you can call OSHA, and they're just going to be like, yeah, that's too bad for you.
And that may be true, but you can still probably call your local I got health and safety services. I don't know what it would be called. I can't think offhand.
No, I'm pretty sure Daniel's 100% right about this. When I was looking it up, like I was pretty sure I did everything I could do. It was like there was no one that I could call and be like, because I looked up specifically OSHA regulations when it comes to this kind of stuff, and their only regulations are you can relax the dress code. Like, okay, cool. Like, so if it's like really fucking hot, I don't have to wear exactly what they tell me to wear. Got it. And so that's what I've done. And they've given me a hard time about it, and I fucking pulled out the OSHA book and pointed to that paragraph and basically told them to go fuck themselves. You know, I mean, you didn't say that, but
right. You said it without saying it.
Right.
So how far up the chain have you gone? You may need to go to corporate about this if, you know, nothing's being done.
Corporate knows about it. Calhoun Republic says, want to be able to say bad words in super chats. LOL. Does that mean make me a mod? I think that means
Probably.
make me a mod. God, I was having a tough time. I don't know. Well, I'll put this out to you guys out in the chat out there. Do you guys watch Matt's Geek chat on Sunday night?
When he's with Jared?
Yep.
I've caught quite a few of them. I haven't been able to make every single one of them, but I've seen some of them, yeah.
Okay. So of the people who have watched them or who do know about them and watch them, is it interesting to you or is it boring? Is it something that you like watching, or is it like, what is life? Why am I here?
Personally, I enjoy watching it because, you know, I grew up doing, you know, building model cars and different shit like that, and just tinkering around building shit out of nothing, really. So personally, for me, I find it rather interesting because it takes a lot of patience and steady hand and hand-eye coordination. I mean, there's a lot involved when customizing action figures or vehicles. Like Superbad, I don't know if he's out there tonight, but he customizes cars a lot, model cars. He did the Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke van, which is fucking awesome. So
I don't know. Like they were griping last night about McFarlane toys.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, why am I even here? Like I can't relate to this shit even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I'm sorry, I can't. Because I really don't give like any fucks whatsoever about any goddamn fucking doll or toy or fucking like little tiny thing, little trinket that you can buy. I mean, I guess they're cool, and I'm not going to say that you can't, but I am going to say that I personally don't give a fuck about them. Like, fuck that shit. I'm sorry.
No, I understand. I mean, it's not for everybody.
No, it's really not. It's really not. I mean,
when you're
how many toys do you guys? Do you guys have toys? Do you have like a bunch of toys?
I have a lot of figures and Funko Pops, action figures, comic books. I have what they call jankies. They're actually pretty fucking cool. I personally, I have all kinds of shit.
I
Yeah,
did
I've
when
got
I was a kid, and then I sold a bunch of stuff and bought guns.
I've got a model motorcycle, I guess. Does that count?
Oh, I actually was going through some stuff because I was making room in the garage for my new rod and lawnmower, so I had to move a bunch of shit around. And I found some old knickknacks that I had when I was a kid, like an old model fucking motorcycle, still in one piece, a bunch of little Hot Wheel cars, old marble set. I used to play marbles.
I don't know, man. I just can't get down. I really tried. I really tried to like be there and be part of it or whatever, and
Oh no.
I just can't fucking do it. All right, let me get these super chats real quick.
Okay.
Dana says, I'm gonna say 94% of your strikes originate in Tulsa.
Maybe. It's very well possible.
They got that one from Calhoun. Calhoun also says, did not get my membership chat. Oh, I've got membership chats. Shit. Okay, hold on. Oh, I've got 2 membership chats. Calhoun says, read my last chat.
Fucking Calhoun.
I don't even see your last chat before that, dude.
I think he just loves doing that to fuck with
Yeah,
everybody.
like 90% of the time there's not one.
Yeah.
Stephen Carroll also has a 10-month, so that was Calhoun for 4 months. 10 months is a straight frog. Finally able to use these things up. Jeez, about time. I agree, man. It sucks. It sucks that I have not been. I mean, I guess technically I was able to do a YouTube chat there for a while because I only had 2 strikes. You know, I still had a channel, but I ran the risk of if I get that 3rd strike, then I don't have a channel anymore. So I waited, like literally the first strike dropped off at midnight last night. So
Hell yeah. Took long enough. Damn.
it says I don't watch the Guns and Gays personally. Yeah, again, I've really tried. I've really tried to like be like, yo, I used to play Magic the Gathering. Like, I used to go to cool shops like that, I guess. But I just can't get down with like, oh, like look at the thing that I can do with this character and turn him into that I could swap heads out and make like what?
Yeah, Kit
I've
Bastion.
got 7,000 figurines behind me. Like, oh my god.
Like Zorro was saying, he has Game of Thrones tank models and Warhammer. I actually have most of the Game of Thrones Funko Pop collection. I'm just missing like the big boys that cost a lot of money. But I understand it's not for everybody.
All of them says it's called the Geek Chat. Why do you hate it so? I don't hate it. I'm just saying I've really tried to relate to it and I can't. I've really tried to get down with it and be part of it. And no matter how hard I try, I can't fake it enough to be part of it. I just can't.
Yeah. Do y'all remember Pogs?
Yep.
I actually have a lot of Pogs from when I was a teenager. I had the Slammers, and I have a couple Slammers with it.
See, my friend Ryan Jacobs and he had a 8-foot long Pog holder that his mom bought him so that he could have all of his Pogs in one holder.
Damn.
And he was like, Pogs are gay, and turned it into a bong and hid it outside. Like it was so fucking big. It was an 8-foot long bong. It was so big that it took 2 people to fucking smoke out of it. Like you had to have like one person sitting on top of a hill and another person on the bottom of the hill, like lighting it, you know?
Damn.
And that's what I thought a bong was for a really long time. So like we were hanging out at another friend's house like a year later, something like that. And they're like, hey, do you want to smoke out of this bong? And I'm like, okay, fine, let's do it. You know, thinking it's going to be an 8-foot long bong. And they pull out like a normal size bong. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, pussies.
Right? Oh, that's crazy. That's some ingenuity right there. I like to refer to that as redneck ingenuity.
Calhoun says, fuck yeah, thanks for the wrench. You got it, man. Calhoun also says, you have it on top chat. Why didn't you... That's why you didn't see my chat. Oh my god. Top chat, live chat, go back, blah, blah, blah. Calhoun. Please read my last chat. There. Got it. I posted that asshole video in Discord. That's great. Via Cutlery Lover. I thought it was a joke. It was not. What are we talking about here? The asshole video?
That where a fucking guy used Nair to Nair his asshole, and apparently I was not gonna look it up because it's fucking disgusting, but apparently he shows his entire asshole and balls in the frame while he's Nairing his ass, and it's gotten like over 30 million views.
How else do you show people?
Yeah, I know. It's gotten over 30 million views, so a lot of people must like assholes. I don't know.
You gotta put your balls and ass, your asshole right in the middle of the screen. That's the best way to do it. Cutlery Lover. Cutlery Lover. Is this someone who's been in the chats before?
I think that's the guy that did the fish video.
Doesn't Matt know him or something like that?
Maybe. I know I've heard the name before. I think he was talking about Cutlery Lover the other day when we were talking about knives and shit. And showing off some knives.
Boob Sweat says a friend of mine once made a beer bong out of an Orange Road construction cone and an actual hose. That would work. That and some duct tape.
That's awesome.
Calhoun says, damn it, that wasn't it. YouTube censored my shit. Sorry, dude.
Well, just put it again then.
I reported a trans on Zuckbook showing his nips and advertising online sex services on Zuckbook while claiming to be a woman. I don't know, dude. Like, I see... Okay, I work at a place where lots of people go, right? And I would say once a week, I see a person who is not who they claim to be, let's say. Once a week, they come in. Much more than that when it's obvious. I'm saying when it's like, is that a chick or not? What do you guys think? Maybe? I'm not sure. Are you sure? If you look closely, you're like, oh, yeah, no, that's totally a dude, you know?
Right.
Once a week, that's been happening now. Like, I don't trust him anymore, dude.
They need a fucking neon sign above their head, you know, born a male, born a female, you know, to get to that point.
I've talked about this quite a bit on my channel over the last couple of years now. There's like stages of transgenderism, really, and it's passability between both facial and then eventually vocal. And unfortunately, a lot cannot pass vocally.
Right.
Yeah, that's gross. And like, you know, like, oh, she's pretty hot. What's your name? Tanya. God damn it. Run. Daniel dropped in 5 and says, remember there were real women until they want to show their nipples online, then they're just men and they can do that. And then they can do that. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the thing right now, right? You can identify as whatever you want, which means you can get away with rules that you couldn't get away with because of gender identity roles or whatever, which means more tits for everybody, but also less tits because they're going to chop them off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's bad. I don't like that second part. I really don't like... Okay, like, if you're an adult, you're 18, 19, 20, whatever years old, and you're like, I really don't feel comfortable as the gender that I am. I don't want to be a dude anymore. I want to be a chick. You have health insurance. You have a job that you can pay for the surgery. Your parents can pay for it. Whatever it is, that's fine with me. Go get your surgery. If you're a kid or if the government's paying for it, I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with my tax dollars going to fucking cut your dick off. And I'm not okay with you using the school system to indoctrinate children into a like dick chopping off contest that's going on these days. I'm sorry. I'm just not okay with that.
Or am I? It also shows their hypocrisy as far as YouTube goes, that they're showing all this stupid shit, but yet pew-pews can't, you can't really show them anymore. You can't show taking the freedom seed holder out and inserting it in. I mean, it's just the
Well,
fucking hypocrisy.
all the shit's because of Trump. All of it's because of Trump. Because Trump won in 2016, and they were like, we got to do whatever we can do. We got to do whatever we have to do to make sure that this doesn't happen again. How do we do that? We have to control the information. How do we control the information? It's the internet. We can't control the internet. Oh, actually, we can control certain gatekeeping places like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, etc. that basically are like 90% of the internet, right? That other 10% that exists outside of that, we could pretty much ignore them for now. I mean, maybe sometime down the line when Rumble and fucking like Reddit grows to a point where they're an actual threat, they'll be taken over too. But for now, like we'll deal with these big five. And like I think that's half the reason they were fucking so upset about Elon Musk taking over Twitter, because now they've got a rogue taking over a whole chunk of the internet that they can no longer control. That has a huge fucking to do about social discourse and what's going on right now. So yeah, dude, like we're in the midst of this because Trump won. Because Trump won, and they were like, we've got to be able to stop this information and be able to control things and be the gatekeepers of everything, and just like we used to be, just back in the '90s when I don't know, fucking Ruby Ridge happened and we controlled the narrative and no one fucking knew about it. Well, now we can't do that because of the internet. So we have to get back to that. How do we do that? Well, we got to institute these systems of control, of censorship, in the name of decency or whatever it is that we're trying, so that people feel safe online, because we're creating safe spaces now. Because freedom of speech, fuck that shit. We don't need that. What we really need is safe spaces so that people can talk about being furries or whatever the fuck it is, dude. Like literally, we're heading towards a Marxist fucking takeover of the country. And we're not even allowed to talk about it because the Marxists have control over the internet.
Yep, and the government's backing them, telling them what to do and how to do it. Has the FBI been punished at all for their role in censoring, using Twitter as censoring everything?
Hell no. Nope, because it's not illegal, right? Not technically, because they didn't demand that Twitter do that. They didn't make Twitter do anything. They just suggested that Twitter have a couple of things go on or whatever it was and stop things from happening, and that's what they did. So no big deal. It's fine. Oh shit. Super chats. Daniel says, remember the real woman. Oh wait, I already did that one. Daniel dropped in 10. Thanks, man. And says, litmus test for trannies. Ask them if they were on a sinking Titanic, are they jumping on the lifeboat with the women and children, or sinking with the ship? Males will almost always subconsciously say they're staying. Okay, if it's like me and I've got like woman I care about and my children on the boat with me, and they're like, okay, there's 3 of you can get on. Who's staying behind? One of you has to stay behind. Like, sucks to be Honda.
Man, I was about to pass out.
Aren't you at work right now? You're always at work this time of night, guarding something.
Oh no, not on Sundays.
You gotta keep the God's day holy.
Yeah, I was doing other stuff too. Oh yeah, I did shoot my AK on Saturday.
How'd that go?
I didn't have to fix the sights much; it was already on point. One thing weird is it's hard to shoot that those irons. It's like you can barely see the target.
What?
That That's what it looked like to me. I don't know. I
Okay, is
remember I
this
woke up.
Zastava? Is that what you have? Is Zastava?
Yeah.
Is the buttstock bigger than it needs to be, as if you were going to have a red dot or something on top? So it's giving you the cheek weld for a red dot?
I guess. Well, I do have that regulate. I will put a red dot soon.
Do you have to mash your face into the fucking buttstock to get your eye on the fucking on the iron sights?
Kinda, but not look like it's as much of a problem.
Never mind.
It was just tricky for me to see. You like when you seen it. Well, mind you, I just woke up and like, I'm gonna go to the range. I don't even think I was at 100% at looking, and it didn't help that my glasses kept fogging up because I went to an indoor range. So,
Are you even allowed to have those
what? Have what?
guns in California?
Yeah.
That gun specifically.
Yeah. It was legal for me to get it, or else I wouldn't have it. The only problem is fucking pistol shit. And the range I went to, he even said, we don't trip or bother if I would have took the fucking shit off. But it's California compliant with that fucking what on.
So
So all my guns are.
all the ranges I've been to in California, like, okay, I thought that it would be like, oh, there's going to be like range safety officers there watching everything that you do,
Oh, they're
and
there.
making sure that all of your equipment is like legal for California, and et cetera, et cetera. No. Every time I've been, it's like, where's the range? They only come when you're like fucking mag dumping and doing like stupid shit.
Yeah.
And they don't look at your stuff at all. They don't confirm anything. They don't ask for tax stamps, nothing.
I've heard of some few areas, or there's like some indoor ones and like near LA, like they don't want you using certain ammo types and shit. But I never go to those. I always go to areas like Anaheim or areas that ain't too far off in the city. Or I've been going to this one now that's more outdoor because there's two different outdoor ones. But this one got your own private lane, so I'm happy about that because some places don't even got private lanes. Or I went to this one that was a private, like, oh, there's a private lane. Oh, but you got to have like $1 million insurance policy. I'm like, what? That was like one of the first outdoor ranges I ever shot when I first had my AR. I'm like, nah, I ain't going back here no more. The only thing I only like about that area is what I could post a target for like 100 to 300 yards.
I forget the name. We talked about it last time we talked about the range that I went to last time I was in California. That one was pretty cool. You should go to that one, dude.
No, I think that's the one you're talking about. That's the one I don't like. I think that's Angeles.
Why don't you like it?
Range people.
I know lots of cops go there.
No, it was the range people.
The range, like the people who work there?
Yeah.
Because they didn't say a fucking word to us about a fucking thing. I was like sure that they were going to.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff could go back and forth because how many people, range officers still work there. It could be like different sorts of set of people and stuff.
But that offense says you can own whatever you want in California if you're not a little bitch.
Mm-hmm. But some of the areas I like, so I like that one little private area I got. Plus, I can get the rapid fire, so fuck all that noise. Ain't got time for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can holster carry too, so that's part of my job. So
Daniel says, did you see 1 in 5 Gen Z is LGBTQ? So that's 20%, way higher than it ever was. 1 in 20 is a T. So the T's were like 0.6%, something like that. And that was like more recent number, like highest it's ever been is like 0.6%. If the Gen Z is 1 out of 20, that's 5%. That's a whole order of magnitude higher. And LGBT is 1 in 5, which is 20%, which is over double what it statistically should be. Dude, there's something in the water turning people gay.
Well, remember, it's used to use, so a little more user control.
I'm serious. Dude. Okay, so there was that I watched it. I keep referencing this because I think it's goddamn telling of what's going on. and it's very relevant to this particular conversation, which is that documentary about fish in the Potomac River, the river that goes through Washington, D.C., goes like way inland on the East Coast, gets fed by a lot of farmland and like chicken fucking hatcheries or whatever the fuck you call them, and like cow fucking slaughterhouses or whatever the fuck, like tons of stuff like that. So there's
Right.
all kinds of animal chemicals from their shit being leached into the water, and they treat the water to get rid of the nitrogen and the stuff that'll make bacteria grow, so that you don't get algae blooms in the ocean when this water gets to the ocean, right? You got to get it to like a safe level of nitrogen to be able to release it into the wild, so it doesn't fuck everything up. But they don't deal with the like 25 known chemicals that are in the water and the however many unknown chemicals that would be really, really difficult and expensive to get out of the water, let alone even test for in the first place to make sure that you know that they're out of the water. Like all of the things that so they just skip it all and say fuck it, it'll be fine, right? Well, then they catch fish in the Potomac River, right? These fish that live in the river in the water, and they catch male fish and they cut them open, and the male fish have testicles, so they can dissect these fish, and they cut open the fucking testicles, and inside of the testicles of these male fish, there's eggs. The male's fish testicles in the Potomac River are turning into ovaries because there's so many fucking endocrine disruptor chemicals in the water that it's physiologically changing them, like they're fucking frogs from Jurassic Park or something.
That's
Like,
crazy.
I know you were gonna go with that one. I'm curious. Do you think it's more nefarious reasons, or do you think it's just sheer incompetence?
I mean,
I think it's more sheer incompetence. Like, people that don't give a fuck, and now they learn about that's when we start learning about all the microplastics and all the other shit now and other chemicals going in.
I would say that it's an accident, except for the fact that it seems like all of these chemicals seem to be doing the same thing, right? And I don't know. I don't want to ascribe malice where incompetence would suffice. However, it does seem like there's a program going on. It does seem like there's a systematic, chemically induced program going on right now. I'm not saying there is. I'm saying it seems like there is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how
I
many
mean,
of them?
there's other parts of it too. I mean, like, look at things that have been proven that we know about that are happening right now. That for years and years, you would get called a conspiracy theorist if you even brought up, right? And to certain people who are not up to date on certain things, they will still call you a conspiracy theorist for bringing things like chemtrails up. Like, do you guys know about chemtrails?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So chemtrails have been used for years in the United States, for years and years under patents. It's basically an aerosol powder version of aluminum that they shoot into the upper atmosphere or as high as they can with these fucking planes, so that it stays suspended in the air for as long as possible, basically reflecting sunlight back into space. Like if there was a volcano, like a volcano happens, a lot of smoke goes up in the air, a lot of dust goes in the air, reflects the sun, the temperature of the planet goes down, right? Like we're affecting the temperature of the planet. We're worried about global warming. This is one way that we can fight it, especially locally, right? Especially over our own airspace. We can keep things cooler in our own air. So let's do that. The thing is, there's been absolutely zero long-term studies on the effects of aluminum on human beings in the environment, on like the microscopic aluminum in the air that we breathe. It falls down in the rain. It's in the water that we drink. It gets in everything. It's everywhere all the time. You can't get away from it. Literally, like even the Amish can't get away from this shit. Like, where are the long-term studies on cancer rates, on birth rates, on intelligence quotients, on, I don't know, you name it. And the
I don't
answer
think
is
they'll ever
there's
do it.
absolutely none. There's zero studies whatsoever. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I don't think they'll ever do it. I don't think they actually truly give a shit.
Well, and if they do, it'll be just more tobacco science, right? It's like, oh yeah, we came out with studies that say that tobacco totally doesn't cause cancer. You guys are crazy.
Yeah, or the sugar industry shit. Yeah, same. Yeah, that's where I would say that's the nefarious part is.
But how many of these so-called teas are actually that and not just doing it to try to be cool or fit in to a new fad that's going on,
Oh,
like
I think that's a
people
lot of
did
it.
with
I mean,
emos and
how many of these girls growing up go through their transition, right? Like they're like prepubescent girls who are confused about their identity, who get this idea in their head, that go through surgeries and get hormone replacements and do all the things, and then years later, like, holy fuck, what did I do? Like, there's a lot of that going on right now.
I wouldn't say it's not just girls, guys too, because some of us see it as like a particular advantage because women get certain privileges and stuff like that. Shoot, I give you even an interesting one. I was surprised to hear this one because my girl, she hangs out with friends that are from that spectrum, and some of them even see, or even some of those trans people even talked about, yeah, you could. There's like I know there's like some of these people that are just doing it for like clout and shit.
Well, I think it has
Even
a
they
lot
talk
to
about
do
that.
with. So there was a study that they were looking at kids who were in the foster care system and how kids who were in the foster care system have like a 5 times more high likelihood of being part of the T's. They're going to be a T 5 times more than if they were just part of the normal population. And that made me think like, well, maybe it's like they are playing into that rebellious, like antisocial, anti whatever it is in a teenager, that when he gets abused and when he gets neglected or whatever happens to you that shouldn't happen to you, or whatever should happen to you that doesn't happen in your life happens, then you have that hole in you and you fucking end up lashing out. And it used to be you'd wear black and you'd have like fucking, like, I don't know, you go shopping at Hot Topic and listen to Nine Inch Nails. Now it's like you chop your dick off or you chop your tits off and you show up and you're like, if you call me dude again, I'm gonna kill you. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. There's a lot of that going on too. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, part of it is a social construct. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're 100% on the money on that. But I'm saying that part of it is environmental. Part of it is because of these chemicals that are in the water that they don't even test for, that disrupt our endocrine system, that regulates our mood and our desires and our wants and our needs and our sleep and our hunger, like everything. Like, everything is connected to that. And when you start fucking with your endocrine system, you really start fucking up your whole, like, your whole body doesn't know what's what anymore.
Yep,
Like,
I agree.
fish testicles start making eggs, and like, all kinds of weird shit happens. Oh, let me hit these super chats too. God damn, you guys are hooking it up tonight. Thanks, guys. Stephen Carroll dropped in 5 and said, unfortunately, we'll never be able to know who's actually a T and who's saying they are because it's trendy. I think if you did a personality test on somebody and found out that they were, I don't know what the word is, histrionic, I guess. They had a histrionic personality disorder. I think pretty much everyone with histrionics who's a T, it's a safe bet that a lot of those are T's because of the histrionics. But that's just my own 2 cents. I don't really have anything.
You follow by a person's character. I mean, that was the whole thing too when I had a discussion when my girl was telling me about it, that even other people that from her around her group and people she was friends with, other T's, like, oh yeah, this person acts kind of burning bridges with everybody, and you could tell this person looked like they're doing it for clout and shit.
Holy shit. Daniel says there's also a statistic that only 44% of voting age Gen Z are employed, meaning 56%, or I guess 46%, right? No, that'd be 56%.
Yeah, 56%.
56% of Gen Z kids don't have a job.
Well,
What
if
is
you
the
look at a lot of
maximum
the
age for Gen Z? Like, what is the age range right now?
I was just
The
about to ask
problem
that.
is that there's a couple different goes to it. I personally think it's right around 9/11 is where Gen Z technically started, but there's other ones that say it's like 97, 98, somewhere in there.
So those the oldest ones are like 24, 25.
Technically, Maxwell Frost, the dipshit that got into Congress, is the first Gen Z congressman. He's like 25-ish, I believe, or maybe almost 26 now.
And then that goes down to what, 15?
I'm not even sure at this point, honestly.
Shit, I ran into a bunch of people near your age and my age on that don't have a job, and was that like maybe 10% or something?
Dude, there's a lot of people who aren't working right now, and I don't understand it. Like, that's one that baffles me. Like, is everyone getting government assistance? Is that how everyone's living?
Some of it is, but here's the funny part. Even at the job I work at, and it's pretty chill and you're making good enough money, I know motherfuckers that, oh, don't do this, that, or whatever, and just leave. And some of these are younger people. Near my age, like around their at least mid-30s to younger. And
Well,
it's
like,
just-
younger people who do that shit, I always assume that's just like, oh, you're just dumb and you don't fucking realize how the world works. Yeah, like, it feels great to walk out on a job, but it feels really bad in about a month when the bills come due, you know?
Mhm.
And you just
It's
haven't learned that yet. So, like, congratulations, you're about to learn a lesson.
Yeah, they just want the money and don't want to have to put the work in for it. They want everything handed to them on a silver platter.
But as for the
No.
older people who don't have a job, like the like 40-year-olds or 35-year-olds who don't have a job, I don't understand that. Like, I guess they have to be getting some kind of government assistance, or maybe like mom and dad passed on and gave them some money or something, and they're just living on inheritance or something like that. I'm really not sure how that works for a lot of people, you know?
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
each location is different. Because I know, like, my girl, she was trying to think about getting another job. So and where she's at in a certain part of Texas, they ain't really hiring for what particular area there. So she's stuck working in that same job where she's at. So I know each case is different. And I know I have no problem for a person fighting for more, better for themselves, like more money, what they want. Or, that's why you're seeing all these, strikes and stuff going on. But, that's a whole other discussion.
if Elon got his colony going, would you guys leave to go in the colony?
Fuck
Colony.
no.
Shoot, I need to know the ins and outs. What's he want to do first?
Where
Or
is
make
that
that
place at?
decision.
Mars?
I think I would.
I wouldn't.
Mars?
Fuck that shit.
Mm,
Like, it's gonna
First, I
suck.
want to know what the
You're
rules.
the first one there. There's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. Like, everything's fucking like gonna kill you. Like, if you fuck anything up, you know. But if you guys make it, and if things go well, like let's say you do, in 10 generations, the people who are living on Mars will be a different species almost than the people living on Earth.
Okay. If he
Because-
can give me absolute reign of what I can
Well,
do,
well, here's why
and
though.
we-
Here's why though. Because if you are going to be living on Mars, working on a colony, you have to be an engineer or a scientist or like some kind of doctor, or like you're going to be necessarily very high IQ, very motivated, very like certain type of individual, right? There's not going to be a bunch of fucking lazy people on welfare who are trying to get into Mars. And like, we don't need people on welfare. We need fucking engineers, right? We need people
Yeah.
who can solve problems. And so those people are going to be the people that are making new people on the new planet. And in 10 generations, the new people making new people will be almost like a new fucking species, because they're going to be so much more intelligent, so much more dexterous, so much more, in so many different ways, better than the people who are left on Earth, because they're left to breed with the plebes that are, you know, currently not working at 40 years old for whatever reason, you know?
well, yeah, that goes into a lot of stuff I was about to say. That goes into if we can ever terraform the planet and live off of that like that. I'm pretty sure you're going to be in like stations where there's oxygen and stuff. But if he lets me do whatever the hell I kind of wanted, guns related and all the other stuff, are you able to, what's call it, the like outposts from another planet, all that stuff? Then maybe that would be more close my route, because you can always fuck off from another planet, do your own shit, whatever, as long as there ain't any other forces out there, aliens or not.
Stephen Carroll says, way to steal my super chat, Corey. Yeah, fuck you, Corey. For whatever you did. Elon has talked about the first couple generations of people on Mars will be much harder people, akin to the people that founded the country. Right. Like the kind of people who were willing to like jump fucking planet and leave and go figure it out on a red. Like I don't even know what you'd have to do. You'd have to like fucking start off by crashing some comets into Mars or something, like lots of water and like fucking gas material and shit like that, and stir things up, and then just start producing carbon dioxide and fucking whatever happened to hydrocarbons, by the way?
I mean, that's the whole point. We need like the technology to be able to do it. If we can easily able to, terraform or build an outpost in thousands of other countries, yeah, then that's gonna be golden. I've already said that's gonna be the biggest. That's gonna be the biggest, like, because people are gonna form their own nations and their own stuff in other planets and solar systems. I'm like, it's a done deal.
So when we were younger, when I was a teenager and we were in school, and it was like Earth Day, like 1996, right? We learned that carbon dioxide's not bad. Hydrocarbons are the bad thing. Carbon monoxide, for instance, has 20 times the greenhouse heat capability of carbon dioxide for the same volume of gas, right? Why aren't we talking about that shit anymore? Why did that go out the window? Why is the conversation suddenly about carbon dioxide, which, by the way, constitutes 0.06% of the atmosphere, up from 0.05%. So it's up 0.01% of the total atmosphere. It's up in the order of 100 parts per million or something like that. Like very, very minuscule amount of carbon dioxide is even in the atmosphere. Why is that the fucking conversation right now? Yeah, I don't know either. I think it has something to do with the fact that every time you breathe, you're breathing out carbon dioxide so that they can, basically trick people into thinking like, oh, every time I have, like me just being alive, I'm adding to the problem. The drop of water doesn't think it's responsible for the flood, but I'm the drop of water here. So I'm going to off myself, self-delete, call the Canadian government and tell them that I'm tired of my staircase situation. And, download my fucking brain into the mainframe computer so I can live forever carbon free. Now we're just silicon.
Well, you think, I can see it easily doing it with kids, but so you think they'll be doing something like, hey, there's too many of y'all, we need to start thinning some people out.
Oh, they literally said it, dude. I mean, okay, like look at fucking Bill Gates when he was like, oh, there's too many people on the planet. We got to do something to get that number down. One thing we can do is start by vaccinating people. Like, what? Okay, if you're getting vaccines, isn't that supposed to help you not die? How does that fucking help, like, reduce the population? Oh, it turns out things we can't talk about on YouTube and stuff and such. Got it. Okay.
Kamala said it the other day too. She was talking about climate change, and then said about reducing population.
Oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist because just because they said that doesn't mean that that's what they're actually doing. Just because it seems to be working really, really well right now doesn't mean that's what's actually going on. Yeah, I don't care, man. If I get a strike for that, good day to you. I say good day. Oh, where's Leo? Leo's out there? What's up, Leo? I sent you a link, Leo.
What's up, Leo?
Calhoun says, I want to set up my own kingdom on Mars. Might be kind of difficult. Probably be easier to just buy a fucking, like, go get rich somehow. Like, it'd be easier to go get rich somehow. Go buy an island. Get so rich that you can build a fucking castle on the island and have so much money that you can buy, like, guns and gunboats and fucking, like, employee soldiers of fortune. Then you can basically have your own kingdom here on Earth.
Yep, as long as it's international waters, and you just gotta worry about who the motherfuckers trying to come over. So that's what the gunboats are for.
Yeah, that's why you got fucking 50 cals, man. Daniel says, way in the future, of course, but I suspect one day Elon's Martians will come back to conquer the degenerate place. Degenerate? This degenerate place. Honestly, like, if people go to Mars and then it's a small population that goes up there of highly intelligent people, and then 10 generations later, there's a whole population of descendants of super highly intelligent people working together in space against us, they're going to look down on Earth and be like, we are never going back there because fuck that shit. Like, I don't want herpes and whatever else they've got, the 50 fucking million diseases that exist on Earth, because they won't have that. That'll be the other problem, is because they won't be able to even be around us. Like, us dirty humans on Earth with all of our earthbound diseases and bacteria and viruses and like the things that we spread to one another. Like, you live in fucking Mars colony for like a couple generations, all clean and, you know, sterile.
Yeah.
If someone sneezes on you, you might die, you know?
Oh,
But
not even that. Remember,
you wouldn't be able to send all intelligent people to Mars. You would have to send some normal people that aren't that bright, because you're going to need fabricators, builders, you know, shit like that to build a colony. So you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have them skilled. They're not going to be, you know, geniuses by any standard, but I mean, they're going to be good at what they do.
Dude, that freaked me out. I was looking at my camera, right? Like right here. That looked like someone's head to me for a second.
It kind of does, yeah.
And I was like, is someone just like staring at me from my doorway? Oh no, that's my refrigerator with a cup of coffee on top of it. It's fine.
That's
Good.
fucking funny.
Well, I was looking at my computer. It's on my monitor, so I'm not actually looking at it. It's like, it's fine. Calhoun. Oh, Leo's eating right now. That's why he's not in here.
I don't want to deviate the chat. I was going to ask you on this. Do you even have a sighting system on your AKs?
No, not on my AK.
Okay.
No. Niet rifle is good. I put on the front sight, I put a little dot of this white paint that if you shine a flat, so it turned the front sight white instead of black, which makes it easier to see.
Yeah.
But also, if you shine a flashlight at it at night, it glows green. So you can
White
like,
paint?
yeah, it's like this white paint that's glow in the dark paint. And then I put like a clear coat over it, just like a real thin clear coat over it. It still works really well. I'd show you if it wasn't on YouTube right now.
See, I would have no problem maybe painting that little front side, but I'm like, do I really want to mess with it? But to be fair, I already got like this interesting furniture that I bought from some guy, so I can put M-locks on it, but I can't put the guiding rod back on there because it's, you know, how it's made. So I'm like, that's like, how often I'm going to use that guiding rod? And plus, you always keep it for aesthetics. You don't really use it. Plus, I got other cleaning stuff for the AK.
Thing about an AK is you start putting too much shit on there, it gets real heavy real fast.
Oh, yeah. I'm just simplifying. That's why I'm
Like
just having that
like an
RS
AR-15,
regulate.
An AR-15, right? Like, you're starting off like 5.5, 6 pounds, somewhere in there. You throw on a red dot and a whatever, you're looking at a 7-pound rifle. That's not bad. AK starts off at like 8 pounds, so it's already heavier to begin with. And then to put a red dot on it, you got to put this big heavy mount on it that weighs, I mean, even those RS regulate mounts weigh a couple ounces. So putting a red dot on, you're adding another pound, and then this and that on it. You got a 10-pound rifle with barely anything that you did to it.
Oh, funny thing, I weighed my guns. I think my heaviest is a 15 pounds, and that's my AR-10, my DMR style.
Right, and how much? I mean, have you carried that around very much?
I've you know, lifted and carried a little bit. Yeah, I think my G3 is like 9 pounds,
So
and so my ARs are 9 pounds.
I don't know, man. I went to a shooting class, like it was like a rifle class, and I brought my AK. My AK had a flashlight and a red dot, and I forget what else on it. Like it had like everything, like a sling on it, you know, like it was like all kitted out, ready to go. Beginning of the class, I had this. It was like an 11-pound rifle, right? And we're chilling and we're shooting and we're doing stuff and we're now we're over here doing stuff and now we're over there doing stuff and this rifle's getting heavy. It's getting real fucking heavy, and like just lifting it up to like put it on sights or whatever was getting fucking heavier and heavier. And pretty soon I ditch the flashlight because it's not dark out. I don't need the flashlight on there. And then a couple minutes later, I'm losing the red dot. And a little bit later, like I'm taking everything off this fucking rifle and just running it with iron sights by the end of it.
Yeah, there's certain ones that I like that is better than others. Like AR iron sights, cool. HK iron sights I like, but the AK is like. But the only thing is, that's the only thing I'm gonna add in there. Flashlight maybe, but that's it.
You could get they make an AK rear sight replacement because like that's usually the complaint is that it's just a notch rear sight, and what you would want, I guess, technically to have a good iron sight would be a ghost ring, right? And have like a fucking peephole sight in the back. So they make a peephole sight replacement for the rear sight on an AK. But that being said, dude, just fucking shoot it with the iron sights for a little bit. You'll get used to it. It's not like honestly,
it was just tricky to see.
On.
Yeah, it was just tricky to see. That was the problem. I was like, damn. Well, to be fair, I was in an indoor range compared to an outdoor range, so that's why I was like, I don't know. I was a little bit on the struggle just trying to see it, but somehow I still aimed, good though. I was like, okay. And it's an AK, so accuracy is not going to be as crazy like I wanted, like an AR. So I got to expect that and expect how well you're going to be shooting from here to there. That's why I have no problem getting that primary arms 3X because it's like, okay, I'm shooting up from here to there, boom, quick acquisition, and that's it. I'm gonna do with it. Now, if I do some crazier projects in the future, like trying to do a full tactical 5.45 type AK, then yeah, that's a whole different other story.
Daniel says, how do you feel about the P38 with an RMR for spicy carry? I don't know, man. I kind of feel like the shittier job is done, at least aesthetically, putting that red dot on there, the better. Like, it should look like you fucking ruined the gun. Everyone should look at that and cringe, but it should also work perfectly and be, like, rock solid. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. Best of both worlds. Travis T says, a 7-pound AR pistol on a sling was killing my neck and shoulders after 6 hours. Yeah, dude.
Damn.
Like 6 hours with a fucking set with 7 pounds in your hand. Like at first it's like, oh yeah, this is nothing. Hour later you're like, yeah, it's fine. Hour later you're like, okay, I would like to put this on a sling and put it down or do something. By like 6 hours into it, yeah, I can totally see that.
I mean, that's an endurance round. I mean, I like some of my 9-pound rifles. I'm like, I could do it, but I'm thinking about going back to the gym and do all that other stuff. But I saw Weber talking about my 15-pound gun. But like, yeah, that's me playing the sniper role, or you just perched up playing defense. That's what that whole AR-10 is. It's not meant to, you're not running around with this shit. If it is, it better be dope.
Yeah, that is a bit different. Honestly, it is.
Yeah,
my AR-10 probably weighs 12 pounds, to be honest. I mean, I don't have much on it, but they're just heavy guns. It's got a big, thick, heavy bull barrel. It's a fucking, bigger, thicker fucking receiver and all that shit. So
yeah, and I got a PRS stock and this big ass rifle scope that's meant to be like bunker down. You're not running around with.
Hold on, I need a drink. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Mm-hmm. Most of it is meant to be Overwatch.
What's Overwatch?
For AR-10s. Be in the Overwatch role if you're doing like any kind of thing with that.
Yeah, especially with that rifle scope I have. Yeah, it's more.
This is the one thing I realized when I was doing like after 2020 riots and stuff like that. If I had the money, I would have created a security company, and I was thinking about like how I was going to outfit the guys and like who you'd have doing what where and everything like that. And it would obviously be minimum of 3-man crews. You'd have 2 guys on the ground and a fourth guy or third guy up on the rooftops with an AR-10.
Hey, you always gotta have that one watcher.
And they'd each be outfitted with like a handgun, obviously.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. Josh T says, I don't remember the guys on Normandy Beach complaining about how heavy their stuff was. I think literally the dudes in World War II complained about how heavy their stuff was, and the military
did.
was like, "Oh, we got to like update." And so they did.
Yeah, they did. I mean, remember these dudes were carrying BARs and M1 Garens and all types of shit.
Yeah, the dudes with what are those little ones? The M1 carbines. They were happy.
Yeah. I mean that weapon got popular for a reason, even during those wars.
Honestly, like that's not a bad gun. The M1 I mean, I know it's not as powerful as a Garand or whatever, but an M1 carbine out of like a 16-inch barrel or whatever they have, like that's better than a 357 Magnum out of a 6-inch barrel. I wouldn't want to get shot with that.
I mean, you remember like some of them had remember when the Tommy gun was popular? I mean, remember we had the Thompson a little bit lighter because that Tommy gun, like the original, was like heavy as shit.
Oh yeah, that's another like 12-pound gun. Yeah.
Right, because it was a drum mag full of 45s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just saying the gun itself, like everything's like milled steel. Like there's nothing milled
and heavy
steel
wood.
and like oak.
Right. Just still in wood the way God intended to be.
They're cool guns. I wish I had a Tommy gun actually.
Shit, yeah. No, but that's the funny thing. That's what I like about my G3. It's like it's a 308 runaround. I mean, I kind of want to put a scope system, but I'll just leave it with the wood and that's it. Maybe I might put a little sight system, but it's fine for what it is.
Yeah, this Middle Eastern guy I know, he has a gold one. That gold-plated one. I think the last time not the last time, but this one gun shop I visit that I had visited, they was trying to sell me one.
Trust me, if I lived in some of the states you have, I'll be all up in the submachine gun PDW type thing.
I kind of want a 50 BMG.
Well, this was back when the state had allowed me to purchase something like that.
Shit, I just want my fucking MP5 badly.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, dude. There's so many guns you can't even like even if you wanted to show them, you wouldn't want to because I can't even finish that sentence. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was wondering where you was going with this.
I mean, not me, a guy I know. You know, ATF agent. We're good.
Yeah.
Tommy gun is awesome, but 45 ACP is expensive. Why is 45 so expensive?
Shit. Yeah, have you seen it? 38 specials way more expensive than 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9mm is cheap. That's why it's great.
Any round that's not NATO is usually more expensive.
And you got to remember how popular certain rounds are. I mean, you would think 45 would be a little bit cheaper, but I don't think a lot of people shooting 45 like that, let alone 40 compared to 9.
You ever do like go to the shooting range? They have bowling night. You know what bowling night is? They have like all the bowling pins set up, and everyone's got like a 1911 something that shoots 45, and because like it's the best at shooting a pin and like knocking it over, and so like everyone's shooting like 9 rounds of fucking bowling with their 45s. It's actually pretty fucking fun. If you ever have bowling night at your local fucking gun range, grab your 1911 and go. Not joking, it's great.
There's a place I have here that does competition matches for rimfire, and they'll do egg, and I believe it is golf ball for 22.
Egg's pretty hard. It's like I mean, I guess depending on the range, you know, like an egg at like 50 yards or 100 yards is a pretty tough shot. You got to be like fucking right on the money. 45 got us through 2 world wars.
Well,
Oh.
if it's an ostrich egg, it's a little bit better.
Right. I guess it depends on what kind of egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about regular chicken egg.
Now, if you're talking about like an egg of a sparrow, the little tiny eggs.
Well, I was gonna say the Calhoun. I said not many people using that around much no more.
I mean, I've got my 45. You guys got a 45?
Nope.
Not yet.
Maybe in the future, but I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah,
I think I
I'm
like
going
45 in those weirder kind of like, you know, other roles besides 1911 handgun. But that's me personally.
I mean, just go get a high point. Get one of those, the 45 JHP. I forget what they call it.
I don't even. I'm trying to remember what 45s can be. Oh no, I think it's Glocks and maybe some H&K one. In some 1911s, but I wanted to, you know, I'm more particular. That's why I said I've not bought anything recently. Well, one of the guns I'm buying right now, you know, I'm buying that 686, so I got to do the paperwork probably Tuesday. And wait, 10 months.
Dude, I went and shot my 686, and I think I might sell it. I don't like it.
Oh, you don't like it?
No, the grip on it, I don't like the grip on it, which would be easily enough replaced, but it's also the barrel length. I wish that it had a little bit more.
Oh wait, what's the inches?
It's the 3-incher. Like it's should be fine on paper. It's fine, you know. I wanted the 4-inch, and I wish I had stuck to my guns and got the one I wanted instead of the one that was available right now.
No, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think 4 is probably a good enough middle ground. But me, I'm gonna get the 6-inch.
Jesus.
Yeah, I want it exactly like how that is. Yeah, even if carry or not.
I have like seller's remorse. No, like when I sold my Ruger, I went and bought it again.
What Ruger?
The SR9C.
Oh yeah. Dude, Ruger makes good shit, man. Like honestly, there's not too much Ruger makes that I'm like, fuck that, you know?
Yeah. Because remember, that's what I was telling with Matt about my cheap revolver I have. I'm one from the seller, not because I'm having that problem with the pins walking out. And I don't know about the accuracy is a little bit whatever. That's why I was gonna go test it Saturday, but some shit happened where the gun range was doing like some youth program thing, so I didn't get a chance to test it out. So because I bought some 38 ammo just to try again. So it seems like either I'm gonna have to fix the gun myself or I'm just gonna get rid of it. But everybody's like, it's your first gun. But I'm like, my first gun wasn't technically supposed to be this gun. Almost got a Springfield XD that I was supposed to have, but everybody was buying. That's when I first getting into guns. Learn all those lessons.
Springfield XD. What was that gun? It was like
a deal during that time.
Well, yeah, but wasn't it some like Turkish gun or something like that?
Oh, the revolver I had?
No, the Springfield.
Oh, Springfield.
Yeah, or it was like Bulgaria. I forget what it was. But
Something
it was
like that.
And then it said like proudly made in the USA on the side, but then if you looked at it, it was like made in Bulgaria.
Right.
Croatia.
Croatia, that's what it was.
And plus it was like, I don't want to say the price. It was 3 Bings gun.
Okay, here's a misnomer. You can say the price of a thing if you're not telling people where to buy it from.
Okay.
So if you're not like, hey, go to Bud's Gun Shop and click on this link where you can buy this thing for this price, that's not okay. But if you're like, hey, I bought this 1911 in my hand for $1,000, like, okay.
I think I just say the beans just in case. It's on my area.
Well, at first, when that gun came out, it was like $300 when it didn't have the Springfield name tag on it. Then when Springfield purchased it, they slapped that name tag on it, and that was what, $500?
Fuck Springfield, dude. I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, that's my coworker. One of my coworkers was going to bring their Springfield that M1A. I was curious to try that, but shit happened, and I ended up shooting that AK, and they went to the gun range today. So I'm like, I worked this time, so I was lost.
I really like Springfield's 1911s. Like if
they look nice.
Springfield wasn't such a piece of shit company, I wouldn't have a Remington. I would have a Springfield 1911.
Right.
Here's the funny part. I know a lot of people, well, most of us more into the gun thing talk about that, but I ran into people that are definitely into guns too. They don't give a fuck about the whole Springfield shit.
Right. There's a
And
lot
I
of
can
people who
kind
don't.
of see where they're coming from because it ain't as like super fucked up compared to other things, but you know, it is what it is. You know,
I mean, they conspired with the local government to fuck over other gun manufacturers in the state that they manufacture guns.
mm-hmm.
In
Yeah, I know they wanted
Illinois.
to get a backroom deal. That was the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in order,
they're trying to fuck
so
us
they could
over.
have a competitive advantage over them.
Yeah.
I almost bought a Springfield as my first gun, not knowing about all that history, because they had like a huge deal at my local gun shop at the time.
Yeah, fuck Springfield. Although that Echelon looks pretty cool. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie.
No, that's what I say. I talk to actual, you know, gun people too. That, you know, when you tell them some of that stuff, some don't give a fuck. It's like, whatever.
I was gonna buy the
Hey,
XDM
talk about your
series.
priority.
Like that 45 shoot great. It shoots better than a Glock.
Really?
Yeah, as far as the
I mean, I
recoil
know they
and
do
everything.
good quality.
Oh yeah, I touched on one of those Springfields a guy had, but
Daniel says you have to say gun prices in fag coin to be kosher. So, in what does the fag stand for? Federally, I don't know what the AG stands for.
Not me either.
Ass groping? Federally ass groping? The
Yep,
gropers?
that's what they do.
They grope the ass.
The federal government does two things: grope ass and make things work for more expensive.
But again,
Hey,
if
you
I
like
find
this service? We can do it for twice as much.
if I was gonna say if I find an XDM used, I'll buy that.
Federal
Yeah,
auxiliary
good.
currency.
I think that's the best middle ground to go about. If you bought the gun used, it's like, okay,
Oh, it's federal auxiliary government coin.
auxiliary. Okay, I knew it was something with that with the word A.
I mean, they're introducing it this fucking winter. Like come September, October, November, December, like coming up pretty soon. They're going to start sending it out to banks. Banks are going to start incentivizing people to switch their accounts over to it and use it to pay bills. And eventually it'll get to a point where so many people are using it that you don't get a break anymore. You don't get, like, I don't know, like double your deposit or whatever it's going to be at first. And then eventually it's going to be like, do it or else. Here's a penalty for waiting so long, so you won't even get your money that you have. And then eventually, if you don't have it done, your paper money's not going to be worth anything. Like, you're going to go to the store with paper money, and they're going to laugh at you and say, like, the fuck, dude, you didn't get the memo?
What if only like a couple percentage of people actually switch over to that, and the majority of people are like, "No, fuck you, we're not doing this bullshit." What then? Are they still gonna like you just said, penalize you until you do it,
I mean,
or are
I
they
would
just
love for
gonna
that.
like ditch it?
I would love for that to more happen, but remember, even some people gonna do, especially dealing with banks and stuff. Then some people gonna try to do some back real, deals with like maybe trying to push certain politicians to make it more.
Right. Or on your tax return, they promise you that you'll get more back if you switch to the fag
Right.
coin.
So at first it'll be a carrot, and eventually it'll be a stick, right? Like, that's how they'll get people to switch. And there'll be people who, the second that it's available, regardless of what you say, regardless of what I say, regardless of what anyone says, are going to fucking jump on that bandwagon because they want to be the first with a new cool thing or whatever it is, right?
Yep.
And
I see the younger generation doing that.
And you got the people that want convenience. It's hard to beat that.
And then, of course, you got all the corporations and other fucking entities that are going to be on board with it because they're part of the fucking beast. They're part of the system. They want that control. They want to be part of that control. And they're doing their part to further it. So then you've also got, along with those corporations, you've got big fucking whales of individuals who have fuck tons of money who are going to throw all their money into it too because they don't care. Like, fucking money's like whatever the currency is. So I think this shit's coming, dude. I think it's gonna happen. I think the unity and constitution of spirit that it would take for people to stand up against it is not present in the society that we live in today, not in the numbers that would be necessary to pull off some sort of a stay or a stop or a delay of this fucking thing from being on set. So yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, because a lot of people have gotten, quote unquote, lazy by, buying everything online and having it delivered to your house. And so they don't have to get out and interact with anybody. That shit's just, simple as pushing a button and you get basically whatever the hell you want if you got the money. But my question is, how long after, they institute the Fed coin will they try to institute the 15-minute city shit?
1
15-minute
month.
cities. I'm trying to figure out what that means. What's that?
Basically, like that movie. What was it? In Time with Justin Timberlake, where they can only stay in their zones, and you only have an allotted amount of
Credits.
whatever it is to travel. And if you run out of time, you can't, buy anything. You can't do anything. So you're just stuck at the house. You're limited on where you can go. And you have to have permission and shit to go to, quote unquote, a different zone.
So
What
I
movie is
get
that
The
again?
idea is basically that everything that you will ever need, like the doctor, the dog park, your lawyer, your fucking dentist, your mortician, your grocer, everything you will ever need, your job, will all be within 15 minutes of your front door, and that you won't need a car because transportation will be provided in that 15-minute zone.
Yep.
So you don't have to buy a car. You don't have to do everything's taken care of for you, and there's no reason, technically speaking, that you would ever actually have for leaving your 15-minute zone, because it's much more economical for the environment if everyone didn't travel and stayed in, dude, for instance, the other day, this was last week, I was bored on, I think it was Saturday, and hopped in the car. I was gonna go get a burrito. I was like, oh, I'm gonna drive up to the mountains a little bit because I'm bored before I get a burrito.
Right.
Drove up halfway to the mountains, well, I should probably pick a destination. Picked a destination, fucking got there, and I was like, well, I made it this far. The top of the tallest mountain in Colorado, I think it's the third tallest mountain in the continental United States, including Canada, in the fucking whole, North America. The third tallest mountain. Let's go check it out. You can drive to the top of it, and I'm 40 minutes away. Yeah, and it was cool as fuck, and I'm glad I did it. And now, I'm recommending to everybody around me that I see, hey, I don't know what to do today. What should I do? Drive to the top of Mount Evans. Did you know you can? Shit, dude. Jesus Christ. Get out of your fucking couch. Get out of your fucking house. Go do something. Expand your horizons. Realize that life is bigger than your work, your car, and your apartment, and the store you go to. Because a lot of us get caught in that fucking cycle of, and honestly, there's tons of reasons to. You're trying to save money. You're trying to I don't know, do whatever. So all you do is go to work and go to the store to buy the things you need and go home. And that's it.
Well, that's also, don't forget, that's a state of mind too. And some of it's you got to think about some certain people, the average person, because you don't fit that kind of category. Probably most of us. There's people that, because I've done some interesting things where some people will think that's kind of strange, but there's some people that all they do is just clock in, clock out, talk to their spouse at the house, and that's it.
What's the name of that mountain again?
Mount Evans.
Okay.
There's people that don't
Mount
really
Evans Drive.
Yeah, there's people that really don't broaden their horizons or willing to take risk or do certain things and stuff like that.
The funny thing was, okay, so
14,000 feet. Okay.
The place that was 14,100 something feet. I was going to a gun range, and the gun range, according to Google, said it was closed, but I was already halfway there, and I'm like, I'll drive up there. If it's closed or whatever, I'm up in the mountains. I'll find somewhere to go shooting, which I did. There's tons of places you can go. that's completely legal. You just got to walk off the road far enough, and you're in fucking national forest land, so it's fine, right? So yeah, the gun range was closed, and then it was like, well, Mount Evans is right there, but the road's closed. And I was like, what? So I drove like 10 minutes to get to the gate, and the gate said, sorry, by appointment only. You can only come in here if you have an appointment. And I almost turned around, but I'm like, dude, I'm already here. I'm going to go to the fucking gate and see if they let me in. Went to the gate, and they're like, well, do you have an appointment? And I'm like, no. But can I go up there still? And they're like, well, technically, because it's a state highway, we can't stop you from going up there. So here's a green pass to put in your window, and you just can't park at any of our our official parking spots. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, like, let's go. And if I had listened to the internet, I would have stayed home. And if I had read the gate and turned around, I never would have known. And I think most people are going to listen to the internet and not go and get to the gate if they do go and turn around without asking. Like sometimes it takes just going that extra step and being like, fuck it, I made it this far. I'm not turning around without trying, you know?
Yeah, it's all by design because, you know, they eventually want you to, you know, be hermits in your home and own nothing and be happy for it.
Well, the cool part about it was because of that fact, because it said that it's closed, and because everyone who's Googling it who wants to go up there can't because blah, blah, blah. Holy shit, I didn't know Mount McKinley was that tall. Yeah, because no one knows that they can go up there because the internet's telling them that they can't, fucking, they turn around or they don't even go up there. So there was nobody up there. It was like empty-ass roads. Last time I went up there, I was a kid, and it was just like, I don't know, being in a fucking parade, you know, just kind of crawling along with cars in front of and behind you until you get to the top of the mountain, which was cool because there's a million things to see. Like there's, you know, like you can see forever, and there's cool mountain ranges and weird varmints and creatures and things all around you and stuff like that. But it would also be nice to go faster than 1 mile an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was up there, it was like I can go as fast as I feel safe. I didn't know Mount McKinley was 20,000 feet tall.
Was the air really rough going up there?
Okay, so like my car said that I had like 80 miles of range and that this place was 40 miles away. And so I started driving and I got halfway to the place and I'm like, oh, I better turn around and get gas because it was eating gas like way faster than like it was supposed to be. Yeah, dude, it took like a half tank of gas. Like usually like, I don't know, 160, 170 miles worth of gas to get 40 miles.
Jesus Christ.
Y'all got mountain goats there? Damn.
Yeah, dude, mountain goats. Are you looking at this shit right now?
Yeah.
You probably need a hunter's license on.
Yeah, but looking at the drive.
There's these fucking varmints and shit everywhere. Well, I'll pull it up.
I bet those mountain goats are some tasty bills.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
They probably state protected, right? You can't hunt them or something. Or can you?
Well, you probably got rules, Honda, over there of what you can use as far as hunting.
It's got to be 30 caliber or higher.
Well, I heard of some weird ones like, oh, you can't have a semi-auto to go hunting. I'm like, okay.
No, you can have a semi-auto. It's 5 rounds and 30 caliber.
5 rounds, huh?
Yeah.
How's that work if you ain't got a 5-round magazine?
So it's 5-round maximum. So you can have 3 rounds, you can have 1 round, you can have 2 rounds, you can have 4. But if it's 6, you have to have a magazine block in your magazine that keeps your magazine from being able to be fully loaded. That's what you do.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you do have that restriction on magazines. I'm like...
It's the same in Texas when you're hunting like birds and shit. You can only have, I think it's like 3 or 4 shells in there, and you have to have that little wooden dowel inside your magazine tube to where it can only hold. I think it's 3.
How do you
1 in the chamber and 2 in the mag.
Yeah, it's 3. It's like that in most states.
Oh, well, I wouldn't be hunting birds that much, really.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
quail's fucking tasty as shit. I love quail.
My dad did that as a kid out here. I'm like, I never had quail, so I couldn't.
Dove is fucking amazing. You can make jalapeno poppers with dove breast. Oh, they're fucking fantastic.
I wonder how many tourists get hit by those goats all the time.
I don't know, but I wonder what
Get
they
too
taste
close.
like. I bet they're tasty.
Yeah, I
And then
bet
there's
they
these
are.
fucking things, dude. These guys are everywhere, and like you can't tell the size of this guy. Like he looks like a normal like varmint looking thing,
Varmint.
but they're like 3 times the size of a normal varmint. They're like huge.
Is that a groundhog or something?
I don't know, dude. But they live on the top of the. They live all the way up at the top of the mountain at like 14,000 feet. Like you park your car, and these guys come up to your car because they expect you to like drop some food or something. And I think that's how they got so big.
They look well fed. The little fluffy bastards. I bet they're good. Tasty diddles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they probably got the
stuff
huge
that has
lungs.
hooves. Or you're only supposed to eat things that have hooves. Sorry.
You never had possum
Well,
before?
There's an observatory
Nope.
back here. They built like this little castle fort like 100 years ago, and the roof got blown off in a blizzard or something. So that's just
Damn.
sitting there.
Bro, so what is like that a castle?
Yeah, and then you can go up to the top here. Like you can actually hike to the tippy top. Which,
How far is that hike?
I mean, 10 minutes. It's very doable.
Oh, that's not bad. But like Shot Red was asking, is it hard to breathe up there, especially like for someone like me that's a smoker?
Oh yeah, dude. If you're a smoker and you're from Texas,
Yeah, because remember,
Why
I've
does
been
it
to
gotta
some
be from
areas up, but
Texas?
you know, I was like,
come on up, buddy. I'll hike
Always
with
hating on us
top.
Texas.
Look, yeah, I have albuterol handy.
Yeah, right.
Ooh, these guys, the bighorn sheep. These are the ones that are tasty.
I believe it.
You can't hunt them here because it's a state park or whatever. But there are places in Colorado where you can hunt these guys, and they're supposedly really good eating, really, really tasty.
No, I'm just saying, I know I'm gonna get fucked over with the whole magazine thing. So I was like, shit, I can't find no.
What if I just want to milk it? Not hunt it, just milk it.
Good luck with that.
Right.
They'll kick the shit out of you.
Let's see this video.
Or gore you.
Now, just come with a bag of popcorn they can eat on, keep them distracted.
Give them marshmallows
Right.
or cocaine. Act like cocaine bear.
Now, then you won't be able to grab them ever.
I say, Leo, make sure you're milking it right. You don't want to milk the wrong area.
Either or, whatever.
Was he licking the window?
I don't know. I'm just saying that milk gonna be sour, man.
Tell.
Yeah, there's a baby over there.
Fucking window lickers.
I know, it's so funny.
I bet they're fucking kind of tough too, because they're designed to climb the side of a fucking mountain that's damn near vertical, and they're stout as all get out. I'll bet there's not a lot of fat on them.
Shit, sorry, Daniel, I missed your super chat. It says, is it true 1 million fag coins will be a buttload? Yes, it is true. Like, look how windy this fucking road is, though. To get to the top.
Looks like the Colorado River.
Man, that one just a straight Z.
Switchback.
Yeah, that one part of the road is just a Z.
Yeah, but like also look how close it is to Denver. I mean, we're looking at just as a bird flies to downtown.
I take it those roads be packed, huh?
Not really, and it's 35 miles away, 34 and a half miles away.
Is it feasible, like if you're at the very top of Mount Evans and you jump off of like a hang glider, could you glide all the way to Denver?
Hell no. But you could glide to the bottom of the mountain.
That would be fun as hell.
You could make it somewhere, but not to Denver. No, it's way too far. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how far you can make it, but not that far. Like, there's one spot where it's like, where that sign is. Hold on. I'll find it again.
I wish we had shit like that around here.
Yeah, I was say that's the one thing that you kind of disappoint me. Texas is all flat land. But I'm like, damn.
So where
Yeah.
this sign is behind it, it's like 1,000-foot drop off behind here. So if you had a hang glider right here, you could jump off of that sign and hang glide for a really long time. I don't know how long you. The problem is you're facing the wrong direction. You're going west from here, so you're going not towards
gotcha.
Denver.
Yeah, because the only areas you got that are interesting is like way off the borderlines of Texas. I'm like, oh, okay.
Here's
I
where
mean, we
Matt.
have good sized hills and shit, but
Yeah, some hills. Yeah, I've seen from what I've seen.
Here's where Matt stayed when he was here, up in Granby. It's beautiful up there, man. It's really not hard to get there. You know, it's pretty close by. Most of it. I mean, especially like Idaho Springs, Netherland area. You know, like Bailey.
Mhm.
I mean, if it's anything like certain areas in California, I'm pretty sure that people drive fast on those lanes because they'd probably be pissed if you slowing down.
Yeah.
On those roads.
I don't know, but I have family who lives in Golden. Golden's like right at the base of the mountains, and I have other family who live up in Dillon, which is like way up in the mountains. You know, so it's cool to have like people that you can go visit or whatever. So, like, if you like wanted to stay in Vail, you know, for instance, like 2 nights in Vail at a fucking resort, you're looking at $400 plus per night. You know. Oh, okay. Now I want to go skiing one of those days. $250 per person. Oh, it's a weekend. $400 per person per day. Okay, I want to rent skis. Another $200. You need a helmet and poles and everything else. Another $100 on top. Like you're looking at fucking per person like $2,000 for a fucking weekend.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's goddamn it. And it wasn't like that when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, you could get the 5 mountain pass for like $600-700, something like that, which was a lot. It was a lot of money for back then. But then you had the mountain pass to go for the entire winter to any place it was like all of the main mountains that you could go to. We bought skis in the off season for super cheap because they were, you know, like last year's model, like didn't get sold, that kind of thing. You know, still perfectly good skis or whatever, but yeah, we used to do it for really, really cheap compared to what it costs now. It's goddamn expensive as fuck.
Funny, I was just talking to a girl I know, talking about she said she did skiing, all that stuff from somewhere up north of California. I'm like, okay. I mean, I want to give it a chance, at least try a snowboard once. At least want to do it before I even get old. So at least have fun.
This is true. Daniel says we're getting a ski resort in Dallas. I don't know how well it's gonna fucking fly over though.
How?
Look up the World Highway, Alaska. Okay, let's look that up.
How's that gonna work in Dallas?
Top
Exactly.
of the world.
An indoor ski resort?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Okay. Where's the little dude? I need the dude.
Unless Texans are going to like Colorado or somewhere to ski during the fucking winter, most Texans don't know shit about skiing because we don't get enough snow here to warrant skiing and shit. I mean, we can play in it a little bit with like sleds and shit, but yeah, we ain't skiing.
at least
That's
Nobody
great.
for miles. Nobody for miles.
He said it's like the one in Dubai.
Well, give me an insight how Denver looks like. I'm surprised it was near that much mountains.
I mean, Denver looks like mini LA. Honestly, like LA and Denver have a lot in common.
Oh yeah, from what you've seen and from what you even told me, I'm like, it's interesting.
Y'all ever seen that video that Will Smith put out where he was like scuba diving in that indoor fucking water resort or whatever it was? I don't know what it was called, but it went down extremely far and you could just scuba dive all kinds of cool shit and just. It'd be cool if we had something like that in Texas.
I did that in Cali, you know.
That's the one thing we don't have in Colorado is like water.
It looks like you got a lot of water.
It's
You're
just
talking about
frozen.
ocean water, that's a different story.
Right.
But hey, I never cared for the, ocean like that. I was just talking that same girl too. She's like, "Oh, I like to stay somewhere near the ocean." But I was talking about my girl and stuff moving out to Texas. But of course, you were kind of bastardized in Texas. But remember her political views and stuff. So it was what it is.
And but we got great, beach areas in Texas. Galveston's okay. I love Matagorda. Down there, because you can go from like Galveston down to like Freeport. You can drive it's like a couple hours to Matagorda, and then you got South Padre Island, which is like a huge spring break destination. But me personally, I love Matagorda. It's real laid back. It's a lot of families go there, but it's not overcrowded, and you can fish, you can swim. You got the Colorado River right there that goes into it. You can kayak.
The Colorado River.
It is the Colorado River. That's what it's named.
I thought that correct me if I'm wrong. I thought your like waters were like polluted or something.
At this point, I think all water is polluted.
I know that in certain areas around there.
I don't know, man. Texas, you guys think that everything's so great in Texas. But every time I see you Texas people, you're not in Texas.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them over where I'm at. I'll be seeing those license plates.
Riddle me this, bitch. How does that make sense?
Because we travel. Texas is
Yeah,
the greatest country.
if Texas was so great, you'd be like, well, there's parts of Texas we ain't seen yet.
Texas is the best country in the world. Get it right.
I've never been to another country. Have you guys ever been to another country?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, Canada, if you count that.
Yeah, I went to Canada when you didn't need a passport.
I've been really close to Canada.
From Detroit.
Pretty close to Mexico.
Same here. Oh, I went from Canada to Detroit to Canada.
Yeah, that's what I did too. Mexico,
drive or
I
did you
still
cross the
need to
ferry?
go, especially before I move, because I need to go to Tijuana for certain reasons. And I went to the Caribbean. That's what I was going to bring up, because you got that wavy road. You going back far?
Can we guess why you're going to Tijuana? Can we all have like a guess as to why you're? Because you didn't say, right?
Yeah, I didn't say.
So can we guess? Is that okay?
I guess.
All right, you're going to Tijuana for hookers and blow.
Oh, one of those things was right.
I'm gonna say plastic surgery.
Yeah, he's gonna get his
Well, you'd be
bonus.
surprised how many people do go there for that. Well, not plastic surgery, but
Oh, have you seen like people who go to like third world
surgery
countries
is pretty
to get
cheap
their-
there and actually well used. That's the funny part. Because I had a coworker who went there, got to get his eyes fixed and stuff, and he had to pay that much money.
Have you seen the people who go to third world countries to get their dental work done because it's cheap over there compared to here?
Yep.
Oh
People
yeah,
do that too.
do y'all know who Crispy B11 is?
Nope.
He was in the military. He was in the army. His real name is Omar. I can't remember his last name.
Is that the
But,
dude that got burned up?
Yeah, he got burnt real fucking bad because they ran over an IED. It exploded the fucking Humvee he was in and caught fire, and he was getting his buddies out while his other buddy was trying to get the rest of them out. He manned the 50 cal to lay down cover fire, and while he was doing that, the Humvee was burning with him shooting, and he burnt like fucking 90% of his body. He had to have surgery on his fingers just so he would have trigger fingers to be able to shoot, pew-pews if you wanted to, which he does a lot. But yeah, it fucked him up. He ended up going to Colombia for what was it? It was some kind.
You
I don't
would think he should get shit free for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I think the government should pay for his whatever he needs.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, he should have got the fucking
Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor. Thank you.
Oh
Brain's not
shit!
working.
Oh, that's a name I haven't seen for a hot minute. Everybody's Savage Sharpshooter 93's in the house. How do you do, Savage?
Damn, what's up, Savage? He popped into Matt's the other
up?
day.
God damn.
But Daniel, you're right. I'm not trying to lie, but yes, the Gulf can be nasty at times where it looks like someone's shit in the water.
Yeah,
But,
that's what I've heard.
It's not like that all the time. It just when it gets real choppy and everything, you know, it just turns the fucking dirt and everything on the ground and turns it brown. But I mean, it's not polluted. It's just turning.
I do like the Pacific beaches better than the Atlantic beaches. Bigger waves, cooler water, hotter chicks.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the point I was about to bring because I went to the Caribbean.
Bora Bora or the Dominican Republic, see the beaches over there. I'd love to go to Ireland and Scotland and different parts over there, just because in Germany, because you know our heritage is traced back there.
It's crazy though to think though, like a very short time ago, speaking in terms of geologic time, everything was different. Like 12,000 years ago, the icebergs were still going strong and growing. The ocean levels were like 400, 450 feet, something like that, lower than they are today. There was land bridges of like, I don't know, between, and I always thought it was ice bridge. Like, oh, there was like so much ice that the ice made a bridge. No, there was so much ice that the water was lower. And there was a land bridge between Siberia and Alaska that was completely ice-free for some reason and full of woolly mammoths. Like, woolly mammoths lived up there like a motherfucker everywhere. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them.
I believe it.
Every coastline was different. Every fucking, like, human city, if there was one, is now gone, like swept off of the face of the earth, buried by 1,000 foot of sediment, swept away by 2,000 feet of water. It's fucking insane what happened. And that was the other thing about driving to California over Utah and through Nevada and everything and back. Like the results of the Missoula flood and whatever the one that came out of Utah, like that was the Great Salt Lake. What was the Great Salt Lake before it turned into that? You can see as you're driving through, like all of these salt flats, 1,000 feet up the fucking canyons above your head, a shoreline from the lake that's not there anymore, a shoreline from a lake that held so much water that as it evaporated, it left these salt flats behind because it was so deep that, you know, like that much water volume has salt in it, you know, and as it goes away, it gets condensed and like it's everywhere, like miles, like hundreds of square miles, thousands of square miles of this fucking lake that was thousands of feet deep in some places, over 1,000 feet deep in most places. And it all drained out. Well, not all drained out, but a lot of it fucking drained out all at one time. And you can see the scarring of the land as you drive through, of all the cataracts and fucking little like sinkholes and things that were developed and those arches and stuff. That only comes from like huge amounts of water moving in short periods of time. It all happens at once, and then because it's the Southwest and because of the way that things look out there and how dry it is, there's no vegetation on anything. It's just frozen in time for everyone to see. It's fucking crazy, dude. And if you guys don't go over there and you don't see that shit ever, if you don't drive through fucking Utah and like the Channel Scablands up in, you know, Idaho or wherever you're at, and you don't fucking see these things for what they are, because people drive through it all the time, but that doesn't mean you see it. But once you see it and you see like, oh my God, like that giant boulder sitting right there is not from here. So it had to be floating inside of a fucking iceberg big enough to carry it, and water that was deep enough to carry the iceberg. Like, what the fuck?
That's crazy. Yeah, I know. It would be awesome to see that for sure. And that's like right now. Have you seen all the or heard about all the shit they've been finding in the Euphrates River since it dried up? Like the stairs and shit, and the hidden like tombs and chambers that they found. I mean, it's crazy all the shit they're finding there, and it's crazy that the fucking Euphrates dried up like it did.
Is that still going on?
Oh yeah,
Where's the Euphrates at?
across the pond.
Tell me, like, what
Iraq.
area? Oh, Iraq. Okay.
There's also some part of Africa right now that's actually breaking into a crevasse.
I've heard about that. Yeah, where it's trying to break out, like the whole fucking landmass is going to break in half.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, like
and
that
what
one
in what
day-
direction? Like the top part from the bottom?
I don't remember.
It's like a
It's
bunch of
kinda like-
miles long already.
It's kind of like how one day California is going to break off from us and fall into the water.
Well,
I
it's
mean, you
gonna
can
be
see how
hard.
big these lakes were, though. Like, here's the Great Salt Lake, which is huge. But the thing about Salt Lake is, in most places, it's only a couple feet deep. Like that, it's super shallow compared to what it once was. But still, takes up a huge volume of land. But then look at the outline of all of this white chalk. This is the outline of the lake, the diminished lake that was left to dry out after it spilled out. So the total volume of the, like, there's a picture of it, and it's basically like this whole area is basically island and lake. It's just like all of these little, like the tall points are all islands, like poking out, and like this whole fucking thing is just a giant. Because up here was fucking icebergs, was fucking glaciers, right? And they were just melting down and cooling up here, and eventually it broke over and fucking like spilled over and made fucking crazy shit. And oh my god, it's so crazy to see, man. Like, you guys really need to go out. I've been watching a lot of Randall Carlson lately. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but he has a
I do.
he has a YouTube channel called Cosmographia, where they do all kinds of podcasts, like specifically talking about one different thing or like one group of things or whatever it is. You know, it's really cool. It's really cool to listen to. I've been really digging it. But they go all over the United States and all over different areas and show, like, Nebraska, the sandhills. Have you ever seen the sandhills of Nebraska? Look at these.
No.
Look at these. What do you think caused this?
That look like water. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of water damage.
Those are water ripples. Those
Yeah,
are
'cause
those
you know
are
how-
ripples.
yeah.
Like when you see a fucking like you're a little stream going by, you know, and it's like 3 inches deep and it's flowing. You'll see these like little 1-inch wide ripples in a 3-inch deep water.
Mm-hmm.
These ripples, here, let's measure the distance of just one. You're talking 500 feet. So
Damn.
what causes a 500-foot wide ripple? 1,500-foot deep water. That's what. Like, look at this, dude. It goes on and on and on and on and on. This is all just water, like, flowing out and settling, and then going into these giant. So then you see, like here's this river basin, right? And you can see there's kind of like a geological area in which the river is. But if you zoom in, the river's only right here. This is the North Platte River, right? This comes from Colorado, this little tiny river. But look how big the basin is where the river, like, had to have been this wide to make that fucking scarring into the land. Like, we're talking 5.5 miles, 5.6 miles wide, right? Versus the river right now is, you know, a couple tens of feet, maybe 100 feet wide.
Damn.
Like, the volume of water is just inconceivable to anything that you guys can I mean, anything that we've ever seen in our entire lives. Not you guys, me included, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Moreover, it all happened at once. All of this happened within a week or a month or whatever it was that took for that water to stop flowing. It's crazy.
That was probably created during the the Great Flood with Noah and the Ark. You know, when God flooded the earth.
Well, Noah's one story of human beings surviving flood in a myth or a story handed down, religious story, whatever you want to call it, right? But it turns out there's like 150 different stories of people from different parts of the world. We're talking like Aborigines in Australia. We're talking all kinds of different Native American tribes. We're talking like every different religion pretty much around the world has a story about a flood. And the people who survived that flood in their small groups or whatever it was thought that they were the only ones left. So they came up with these stories about how they survived the flood. And there was no reason for them to think that anyone else was left based upon the amount of water that came through and how much crazy shit happened. They had every reason to think that everyone else in the world was dead and they were the only ones who made it. And there's evidence of a genetic bottleneck that happened at that time, 12,000 years ago, where we went from millions and millions of people to a few thousand. Like we were an endangered species by today's standards. Anyway. Well, hey, we've been going 2 hours. I think it's been a fun chat. It's nice to be back on YouTube. I do appreciate everyone dropping in super chats and stuff. It's been fun. I hope you guys appreciated it and also had fun. Does anyone have anything to add before we end it?
It was it was a good chat. It was fun. You know, we had a lot of topics and everything. Welper said it's cute hearing Honda geek out about geography.
It's just cool, dude. Like, there's a whole world of things that I had no idea about that I'm, getting caught up on now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good stuff to find something new.
Yep, learn something new. I didn't know Colorado had mountain goats.
There you go.
Oh, I knew they had mountain goats. I just didn't know how the way it was formed looked like. Oh, okay. 'Cause I always thought Denver was like on top of the mountains, but like a flat top. The top of the hill. Like, no, it's just all near on the side of you.
You missed Daniel's super chat.
Yep, I did see that. It says, where you live technically should be Texas.
Yep.
Yeah, but we fought your Texas asses out of here and won our independence from Texas in the great battle of
we just let you have that shit because a lot of Colorado was part of Texas years ago.
Yep.
Well, we lost it.
And we fought for our independence.
Nah. We just felt bad for y'all.
In the Great War of Corey's Biddles and Ole.
And britches.
With his britches.
Yeah. So you lost Alamo, so you couldn't even keep Colorado.
The Denver metro area would be the third largest city in Texas then.
True.
Yeah, behind Dallas and I forget what, probably
Austin.
Houston.
Houston,
yeah. All right, guys. Well, anyway, we will see you next time. Peace out. Peace, everybody. Peace.
Peace.
Later.
Later, guys.